disciplinary process of Rice. NBA, Damian Lillard's agreed to a 3-year, $42 million deal to return to the Trailblazers, reports ESPN's Shams Charania. Lillard is rehabbing a torn Achilles.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, we offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com today.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again in anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks, but super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
And welcome in to Behind the Bench here on ESPN 1430. Brought to you by Helena Agri here on July 17th. I am Tanvir filling in for Phil today as he is still on vacation in Las Vegas over there in the desert. Thanks to everyone listening in here on this Thursday afternoon. I hope everyone around the Central Valley is doing well. We're going to have another best of Behind the Bench show today from 3 to 4 with another round of a great interview and a great preview of the Rams' schedule over the last couple of months. So big thanks to Tony D for passing the rock to us from the previous hour. Sportsline hosted by Tony D is on every weekday from 2 to 3 on 1430 ESPN, the 1430 app, and the 1430 ESPN website, where you can also listen to his previous shows on demand. Phil's show, Behind the Bench, usually going on from 3 to 6 on 1430, the 1430 app, and also 1430ESPN.com, and also streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, as we are currently. So what's up if you're watching on those platforms? We're usually at Fashion Furniture here on Thursday, so if there's anything you need related to furniture, a couch, a recliner, anything, Fashion Furniture is the place to see. Fashion Furniture on Alluvial and Blackstone. If you ever want to listen or watch some previous episodes of Behind the Bench, then go check out the website or the YouTube, where you can see those episodes on demand. Hopefully you guys can like and subscribe on all of our videos, and that'll help us a lot. We have the Lee's Air Hotline, brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing, Heating, and Roofing. Lee's Air Hotline, 559-320-1430. That's the way to reach us. The Lee's Air weather check sits at 94 degrees. We're going to have a high of 96 today. So not as hot as the last couple of days, but still cooking in the Central Valley. The 3 o'clock hour is brought to you by Clovis Truck Center, the first, the biggest, and the best in the Central Valley. Reminder, if you want anything done with your truck, SUV, or car, you'll get $50 off your visit if you mention the name Phil Bonatti here in the month of July. So go to Clovis Truck Center today and get $50 off here in the month of July by saying Phil Bonatti. Clovis Truck Center, found just south of the Clovis Rodeo Grounds in Old Town Clovis. All right, we got that out of the way. We got a fun show for you today with 1 full hour taking you up to 4 o'clock with some of our favorite moments of Behind the Bench from the last couple of months. So sit back, relax, and we'll start off today's show with a throwback to a couple months ago when Phil and Jorge, I should say, sat down and discussed the Rams schedule. So here's Phil talk about the Rams schedule. Take a listen.
Move to now team in the NFC West, the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams have a 10.5 win total right now based off Vegas odds. And we'll see if we can get there with the Rams. Of course, they have a great schedule, a harder schedule, I would say, based off of where they placed. First place schedule is always the most difficult, so we'll see how that all plays out. But Jorge is going to be tagging along with me on these. Jorge, we'll encourage you to try to keep your Niner bias out of this, right? As far as it's concerned.
I could do that. I'm a journalist. I could be, in the middle.
Exactly. Well, let's start. Let's not waste any time. Houston Texans in Los Angeles on a 1:25 kickoff time in SoFi. I'm looking forward to that game because I think there's a lot of fascination between both defenses and the way they can be capable in disrupting the pass and the run, especially the front seven. I think both teams are going to be interesting to watch as far as the season is concerned because I think the Texans certainly don't feel like they did a whole lot of what they were hoping they would do this past season, despite making a run at it against the Chiefs in the postseason. The Rams felt like they could have beat the Eagles in that same round of the playoffs last year as well. So two teams feeling jaded about how it kind of all went. I think it's going to be a fascinating game in SoFi. Can't guarantee a win for the Rams, but I feel like it's just a little bit better on offense with the way Devontae can add to this this rotation, this artillery. So I'll go Rams 1-0 on the game against Houston. I'll give them the win there.
Against Houston?
Yeah, against Houston.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's gonna be a tough one, but I think like I said, they're a lot like the Niners.
Yeah,
and I think that's gonna play well with the Rams, and I think they're gonna win that one.
Rams at Titans. I don't think I need to spend too much time on this. Cam Ward's going to have a rude awakening in the NFL, having to play a top-tier pass rush, not only with Denver but also with L.A. So the Rams are going to probably have a lot of fun in Tennessee in Week 2. So I got the Rams at 2-0, which is hard to believe because sometimes these starts for Sean McVay's teams are pretty slow. So 2-0 feels really good for the Rams.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one for the Titans. I don't know. I don't know that they could, make anything out of this game. So yeah, I'm going Rams.
Let's go to Philly. The Rams in Philly, where they felt like they were close to beating the Eagles in that game in the snow. I felt like they were pretty comparable to each other. I worry about the rush defense still. If it can improve and get ready to face off against Saquon again, which Saquon has now gashed him for 2 straight games in this one last year. I wonder if they can scheme a little bit better against that. I don't know if it could make a difference. I feel like this is going to be a really tightly played ball game. Should be a really fun ball game. I'm very surprised it's not in the late afternoon window. They have Cowboys and Bears in the late afternoon window that game, and they want Cardinals-Niners, but the Cardinals-Niners have to be there. So based off of proximity to the time zone. So I guess we're not going to get Rams-Eagles in a prime spot. They're going to be stuck right in the middle of some 1 o'clock games. So interesting to watch. But I will chalk it up as a loss. I think it's going to be extremely close. But I don't think it will be a loss that will make you really concerned about the Rams and the way they can compete this year.
I don't. This is like a playoff game at the beginning of the season, so
yeah,
this is a very interesting game. I think whoever has the better start of the season might take this game.
I think so too. Who do the Eagles open up with? Are they going to be beat up before this game? The Eagles open up with Dallas on a Thursday, and then the Eagles get. They go to Kansas City the week before. Wow. Okay. So they're coming off of Dallas and Kansas City. So that might change my opinion.
Yeah,
the Rams could kind of Philly could be beat up here, and I know they did what they did against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but there's a different factor of you going into Arrowhead as opposed to you being in the Superdome and everything's going in their favor.
I mean, it might be counterproductive if the Eagles are looking for a win and they're because they lost the first 2 games of the season. That's going to be interesting. Playing the Rams on the third.
Are you predicting a Cowboys win over the Eagles in Week 1? Is that what you're saying?
It's a rivalry game. I don't know what would happen. It's a rivalry game. They're always weird. I don't know why, but they are.
Right. Let's chalk it up still as a kind of a scheduled loss against the Rams, but I think it's going to be close. But that changes things for me. I'll have to dissect that. It's certainly a nice bookmark there. Colts and Rams are going to host Indianapolis. I would say Indianapolis isn't as much of a formidable foe against this Rams team. So I'll go Rams here. We got 3-1 on the record for the Rams here to start the season. I think you would agree, right?
Yeah, I agree. Rams.
I already picked the Rams to beat the Niners in this Thursday night game. I didn't need to go into it further. difficult game for the Niners to come into. Rams don't have to travel at all. They're stuck at home. I expect the Rams to get this Week 5 win.
Come on, like we got to travel long to get there, but yeah, it's in Levi South, man. Come on.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm still going 4-1 here for the Rams. Rams at Ravens. I will give the Rams their second loss of the year. The Ravens are very formidable. I think Lamar is going to be very difficult to play against. The Rams had issues with sometimes closing out on some scrambling style quarterbacks per se. So I think the Rams will have issues with Lamar. It was a great game 2 years ago. I think it'll be a great game again this year. So very interested to see how it'll all play out. But I have the Rams losing in Baltimore. I got them going to 4-2 now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the playing at the Baltimore Stadium, that's a tough one. Yeah, so we're gonna see what comes out of it, but I think the Ravens are gonna win it.
Next up, Jacksonville in London. Rams looked really good in London the last time. I think they beat the Bengals pretty handedly there, 3 years ago, I would say, I think it was during their Super Bowl ride that they beat the Cincinnati Bengals. So I anticipate the Rams to play well, perform well in Wembley, and be able to handle business. I actually think it was Rams in 2019, I think that's when they were in Cincy, back when Cincy was trying to get off of Andy Dalton in that whole quarterback situation. So I think it'll be a tighter game than most, but give me the Rams to win over Jacksonville in London.
I don't know. These games in London are always weird because different time zone and all these other things that are happening. Yeah. So, I'll take the Rams, but I don't know. The Jags might play spoiler here.
Guys will be thinking about bye weeks for sure, so maybe in anticipation of a letdown opportunity as well. Rams get a bye, and they come into home to take on the Saints. Talent disparity here. I don't see any reason the Rams could lose this coming off of a bye. McVay has them all settled up for a bye week, so let's get the Rams to 6-2 and beating the Saints.
I agree with you. I don't think the Saints have a team to compete with the Rams, so I think the Rams will take that.
Week 10 at the Niners. I gave you that win there for the 49ers, so 6-3 for the Rams. 6-3. Seattle coming into L.A. Cooper Kupp coming in to play his former team. Emotions aplenty in that contest. I would believe that the Rams could handle the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're just a step above Seattle. I got them going to 7-3 after beating Seattle in SoFi.
Yeah, I think that the Seahawks are a tough team, but I'm not sure if they're tough enough to beat the Rams.
Tampa Bay, Sunday night against the Rams. This is the game of the year for me. I think the underrated game of the year. I would love to go to this game. I think this game would be really awesome to watch. I think this is going to be football nerd heaven for offenses between the Rams and the Bucs. Like I have the Rams right now 7-3 going into that game. Tampa Bay would play well, but I think the Rams have an opportunity to win at home, national stage. SoFi will be rocking. I think the Rams have a great opportunity to get things done here. I think it'll be a shootout, but I trust the Rams to get it done. They go to 8-3 here.
I'm telling you, but this time they're going to be looking for a new quarterback. The Buccaneers are,
wow.
I don't think they got it, so I'm going Rams.
Rams and Panthers. Like I said, the Panthers could get frisky here. I mean, they almost beat the Chiefs last year, Jorge, in Carolina. So some weird stuff can happen after a pretty big-time win for the Rams to then come out and go to Carolina and then lose. That'd be something that we have seen before in the NFL. But McVay's very good at the 10 a.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. East Coast time slot or whatever it is of getting set up for the game. So I like the Rams to win. It'll be closer than people think. I've got the Rams sitting at 9-3 after this game.
Same. I think, yeah. I think they're going to win it. But just a better team.
Next up, I have Rams and Cardinals. People forget Rams were absolutely destroyed by the Cardinals in Week 2 last year. So it is going to be an interesting dynamic going back to Arizona with the way the Rams were playing in that game. So could be some bad blood between these teams. The Cardinals could make things interesting in this one. I could see a letdown opportunity for the Rams here after a nice win in Carolina. I'll go with my head though, and I'm going to say at I would say 10-3. I'm going to go 10-3 with them beating the Cardinals.
This could be one of those games where you've been winning on so much that you can't let your guard down, and all of a sudden the Cardinals are beating you. So I don't know, maybe, but yeah, I'll think the Cardinals might win this one.
All right, at 10-3, they have the Detroit Lions coming into town, and I think this is going to be a difficult proposition. I like Detroit in the way they form up this year, even though they lost some of their coaching staff over their magical season. It'll be a true test of resilience for this coaching staff to make it work for Detroit. They go into Los Angeles. That's going to be a game everybody's going to be watching. It's probably going to be the premier game of the week. I'm looking at it as far as the slate is concerned. So I will have the Rams dropping that one to 10-4. Because I think the Lions are going to be a difficult ask to beat and continue to go on.
This is a playoff game, right before the playoffs. But yeah, another one that's tough. I don't think the Lions are as good as they used to be, but still they have a really good team, and it might make it difficult for the Rams, but I think the Rams might take it.
After that, the Rams go to Seattle for a Thursday night. I could see letdown happening here as well. I could see a letdown for the Rams because it's coming off of a very difficult Lions game, and then go on the short week, especially with the Lions game playing almost pseudo prime time. I'm going to go loss here, Jorge. I'm going to go loss. I'm going to go 10-5, and the sky might be slightly falling for Rams fans at 10-5.
Yeah, I'll go with you. I think it's a difficult one, but they might lose that one. Yeah.
Then they go to Atlanta, longer week, kind of a pseudo bye week, going into a Monday. They're going to get plenty of rest after that, and I think that's where you play the schedule. Rams at Atlanta. I anticipate they're able to again handle Michael Penix in the way he can kind of play. I'm going to go 11-5 here for the Rams to get the victory over the Atlanta Falcons. So I got them at 11-5 now.
Yeah, I think this is another win. Falcon, they're not as good of a team as you would think they would be, but yeah, Rams win it.
I go 12-5 because I think they'll win at home against the Cardinals and take care of business. And I don't know, interesting. I got both the Niners and the Rams at 12-5 to close out the season. How about that, Jorge?
How about that? Yeah, I don't know. Cardinals might be a tough one, but they are. I feel like the Rams are just slightly better than the Cardinals. Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. Two very different results and the way they end up. I think the Rams' path is certainly harder, so I don't know where it'll sit as far as tiebreakers are concerned. It'll be a tight battle at the top. I think there's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of football to be had all the way to Week 18 between these two teams. They're circling each other, man. It's going to be interesting to watch.
And as usual, the Rams have a great defense. The Rams going into the season with Davante Adams. And, with Davante Adams in the fold and another year of this great defense through the likes of Kobe Turner and Jared Verse, I think we're going to expect great things out of Inglewood this season from the Rams. All right, when we come back, we're going to have an interview that Phil had with All Elite Wrestling star Brian Cage back when AEW came to Fresno on March 11th of this year. So we'll be right back on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
That's right. Select games will be on 1430 and 790 ESPN Radio, your local sports leader. The Fresno Grizzlies at Chikchincy Park are always entertaining. Now hear them compete on the radio. Spending your time at the ballpark with the family is always a great time, so be sure to check out as many home games as you can this season. Check out 1430ESPNFresno.com for game times and more. And keep it right here on 1430 ESPN Radio, your local sports leader.
At FFB, we know behind every business is a person. That's why we're more than a bank. We're a partner, a farming-focused bank for hard workers, a future-forward bank for big dreamers, and a family-friendly bank for the next generation of owners. From first ideas to major milestones, we're here to help you chase your goals and score big. So what can FFB mean for your business? Find out at ffb.bank. That's ffb.bank. FFB Bank. Let's win together.
The wait is over. Valley Pure presents Crazy Horse, the wild new flower from Cowgirl Cannabis. This isn't just a strain, it's an experience. Ready to get on the wild side? Then saddle up and ride with Crazy Horse. Available now only at Valley Pure. Bold, untamed, unforgettable. Don't just hear about it, live it. Get to one of Valley Pure's 5 locations and grab your Crazy Horse today. Cowgirl Cannabis. Blaze the trail.
Hi, I'm Jim Schaefer with Helena Agri Enterprises. At Helena, we lead with agronomy, and crop health plays a crucial role in maximizing production. You can visit helenaagri.com to find your local Helena retailer and learn more about Helena's products and solutions. Summer temperatures and droughty conditions are rapidly approaching in the Central Valley, which isn't ideal for farming. These environmental stresses can impact yields significantly. So how do we fight against this? At Helena, we have a product called Megafol. Megafol contains a precision blend of plant extracts that improves crop vitality and helps defend against environmental stressors like heat and drought. So how does it work? Simply put, the plant extracts in Megafol upregulate genes that produce specific proteins in the crop. More of these proteins means the crop can function at a higher level under stress conditions and less energy is spent on recovery. At Helena, we lead with agronomy, and crop health plays a crucial role in maximizing production. You can visit helenaagri.com to find your local Helena retailer and learn more about Helena's products and solutions.
Going, almost gone. That's right, folks. The giant $5 million furniture disposal sale at Fashion Furniture in Fresno is almost over. It's the final day. Your last chance to take advantage of these unbelievable deals. The prices return to normal in a matter of days. Extra sales help and parking will be made available to help with the crowd. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event. The final days of the giant $5 million furniture disposal sale at Fashion Furniture in Fresno. Don't dare miss it.
Sports fans, whether you're gearing up for your next adventure or simply searching for the perfect ride, Ed Dina's Auto Center has you covered. Now, let's hear from the 2018 Mountain West champion, Marcus McMarion.
Hey, it's Marcus McMarion. At Ed Dina's Auto Center, they'll make car shopping as smooth as a game-winning play. Whether it's a truck, SUV, or the car of your dreams, their incredible team is here to guide you every step of the way. Ed Dina's Auto Center in Dinuba and now in Visalia off Mooney Boulevard. Online at eddinasautocenter.com.
Get your business noticed and stand out from the crowd by visiting MegaPrints. Working with the Valley's most prestigious and high-profile businesses since 1998, we print and install custom-designed signs for businesses of all types and sizes. From yard signs to banners to wallpaper and fleet graphics, MegaPrints has the state-of-the-art capability to turn the signage you've dreamed of into a reality. Visit megaprints.com today to see our work. Do for your business.
All right, welcome back to Best of Behind the Bench here on 1430 as we move into the next segment of our show. So, Phil talked with AEW star Brian Cage in preparation to AEW coming to Fresno on March 11th of this year. Obviously, we're off the heels of AEW hosting their biggest show of the year, AEW All in Texas. Off topic, but shout out to Hangman Adam Page for bringing home the gold off of Jon Moxley in an amazing match. Anyway, here's Phil, interview with Brian Cage, the man they call the Machine. Take a listen.
cage of AEW wrestling here, and exciting to have one of the featured guys that are going to be out there in the ring tomorrow at Save Mart Center. Brian, appreciate you coming on down to the studio. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, the Machine Brian Cage, the Wolverine Brian Cage, the Multi-Move Paragon Brian Cage. I mean, who better than Brian Cage to be here in studio to promote AEW Going Down Dynamite Live tomorrow at the Save Mart Center. And, you know, I used to live here for many, many, many years. So this is my little home away from home. I used to be announced always from the 559. And so to be back here in the 559, throwing it down, doing what I do best, and that's, you know, making a lot of people's days not so comfortable in the ring out there. It's great. It's great. So here we are.
Here we are, man. It's exciting to have you back here in the Valley, right? You said you lived here for a while, right?
Yes. From like 2010 to 2016, 17. Yeah, it was a good little chunk of my career. Really, when I was like coming out of my my independent venture, my struggles to like, you know, the top guy, superstar that I am today. That was all right here. So I have a lot of people who saw me from, you know, my mediocre uprising, excuse me, to becoming the Machine Brian Cage. And so to be able to perform here at the Save Mart Center in front of everyone who saw me at the local armory in front of 100 people, you know, it's great. It's a great little turnaround.
What brought you here? I know you're a California guy through and through. You grew up in Chico, but
so I mean, really, so what came here? So I was signed to WWE. I was in Florida. I'd gotten released. I moved down to LA. My girlfriend at the time was up in Reno, but she was from Fresno. And then she moved back to Fresno to be closer to me while I was in LA. And I said, hey, look, if nothing's hold me down, if nothing's tying me here, since you moved, I was like, I'll move up to Fresno with you, with no desire to like be in Fresno. And it's not like everyone's like, oh, God, Fresno's such a wonderfully amazing place or whatever. And I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll you know, for you, I'll come up there. And you know what? I loved it here. I loved it here so much. So I was here, like I said, for all those years, and I made a lot of great friendships, a lot of great people. Like I was just in my actual hometown, but again, like I said, I feel like there's, you know, it feels more like Cheers here to me. I feel like way more people know my name, not because of me being a wrestler, just because I you know, lived here. So yeah, it's always great coming back here and all the nostalgic feels and going to all my local spots and shops and people. Like I was here yesterday and I went and, you know, saw my normal go-to people, all the different stores and friends. So it's always great. It's always great.
What are the local spots for Brian here?
Well, I mean, so I definitely always have to go through Valley Fitness Nutrition. Albert over there runs that store, and I always say what's up to him. He was there from the beginning. Was hooking me up with the sups back in the day. I got so many different therapists to see. One, Dr. Eric, over at Dakota Sports Therapy on Ashland and Fresno Street is great. So many great gyms, and you know too. So before I was just go to First and Herndon when it was Bally's that dated back then, and now I can't believe how incredible the fitness community is here in Fresno. They got so many different like boutique, amazing little bodybuilding ass gyms, from, you know, Iron Office to Jason Beard's gym over there in Clovis, and then just recently my friend opened up Trinity Gym, which is have their grand opening this Saturday, and I was there yesterday. Amazing gym. Like there's so many great gyms around here. I also won the Mr. Fresno Classic back in
there you go.
2013 bodybuilding show. It was like one of the first ones I ever did. So that was great. But yeah, Batter Up Pancakes.
Yes.
There's so many great eateries, but man, that is my favorite breakfast spot ever. And I've been, you know, food all over the world, and that is the go-to. And Jeff over there at Batter Up, the owner, he always takes care of me whenever I'm in town. It's usually a must. More often than not, I usually go there right before I go to the airport when I'm flying out. So
certainly, it's an exciting time to have you back here, right back here in the Central Valley for a fantastic event tomorrow. You said this isn't the first time you've wrestled at the Save Mart Center.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, so tell me how many times. I'm sure you look at the schedule when you see it come out, and you always kind of circle Fresno every time it pops up.
Oh, for sure, because it hasn't been a lot. So I know we were here. Was it well over a year ago, and I wrestled a longtime rival of mine, Willie Mack, on a show of ours that was airing on Friday on Rampage. And actually, my very first time wrestling in Save Mart Center, actually, I was uncontracted, and it was actually I was an extra for WWE at the time, and I actually got knocked out in my match.
Oh.
So you know, it's not it didn't go so well for me that night. But hey, here we are now, and it's I'm not going to be the one sleeping at the end of the match tomorrow. So
of course, we look forward to seeing it all. You know, it's exciting to have you here. Exciting to have all kinds of wrestlers here in the Central Valley tomorrow. First of all, just I'm not like maybe an uninitiated wrestling fan. I've seen it here and there, but for those who are trying to get into this into the thing, into AEW. What are you getting yourself into if you go to the show tomorrow night?
Oh, I mean, you're going to be in for all the feels. Like, so a live wrestling show, I mean, like anything, any sports-based thing, too, is always more fun in person, right? Like, if you're not a fan of baseball at all, but you go and you watch it in the crowd and you're live, like, oh, hey, this is a fun time. Like, my mom despised wrestling when we were growing up as kids. And then I remember the first show she took us to live, she had a freaking phenomenal time. So a lot of people, they're like, oh, it's my first ever wrestling event. When I have friends or friends of friends who come who exactly aren't wrestling fans and they don't really know what to expect. But it's, I mean, because you get every aspect of sporting, entertainment, comedy. There's so many things. And I feel like it brings a better appreciation just for the world of pro wrestling, too. Because there's obviously like a negative preconceived notion that a lot of people have when they just think of, wrestling,
Yeah.
And that's not what this is at all. And you, especially for this day and age, and our company specifically, All Elite Wrestling, when you see the athleticism and some of the stuff they do and the just the ridiculous matchups, and by ridiculous I mean like just how amazing they are. It's great. You're in for a really great time. So, and then obviously the crowd energy when you're around all these like rabid wrestling fans. Like, wrestling fans are some of the best fans there are. They're incredible. And I've been to many shows watching at the Save Mart Center too, and Fresno's usually always a pretty good crowd. So
yeah, bring me back. You mentioned your mom having to break things up as far as at the house. Bring me back to when you were kind of growing up watching the wrestling back then. What stood out to you about kind of the influences for you when you were watching at a young age?
So it's funny. So I don't remember like who was on TV. There's not, like I never watched it. There's no keen memory there, but I know I was 5 years old. My mom's friend was in town. I remember we went to pick her up and I was with her. And she was at this hotel, and I can see it. It's in Orland, California. And I remember we walked in, and wrestling was on her TV. And I don't remember what was the match. And I don't even know if she was watching or if it just happened to be on. But I remember that was the first time seeing it and thinking, like, who are these superheroes in real life? Like, I loved it. And then as we got into it and started watching it, like, by age 10, I'm like, this is all I wanted to do. But before age 10 happened, and even afterwards, I was grounded from wrestling because I have 3 brothers. And we'd always wrestle and roughhouse, and somebody would get hurt and break this and break that. And I remember something happened up in Chico where I was at, where somebody had supposedly died or gotten seriously hurt from whatever wrestling move. Mom was like, "That's it, no more, you're done."
Wow.
And then Monday nights started to become frozen meal night, so we would just have Hot Pockets or whatever. Mom didn't cook that night, which worked out very conveniently in our favor because that's when wrestling was always on. It was on Monday nights, so we'd literally cook our little, whatever Hungry Man microwave dinner, and we'd take it into our room, and it was almost like we were sneak watching porno or something because we close the door and be all quiet and turn the volume down and like have that flashback button ready where you go back to the other channel after we weren't watching it, and eventually we got caught, and they're like, "Hey, you guys can't watch this," blah 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 blah. And after we persuaded and pitched, like, "Hey, we're older now, we won't do this, we won't do that," and then she was okay with it, and then we were allowed to watch wrestling. Still, she was never a big fan of it. And then, when she finally took us to our first live event, she enjoyed it. And then I actually, up in Chico, I used to actually even run my own promotion, do my own shows. And she was actually very supportive of that, would always be there, and would help out with a lot of things. So that was another really fun time as well. But this is all I ever wanted to do. And the mom, didn't have the most highest expectations, or I guess even not to throw her under the bus, almost belief in me that would make it happen. But hey, now I'm her favorite son to talk about. So
hey, that's you love to be on the rankings, right? But you mentioned the brothers and growing up in that atmosphere. I grew up with a brother, right? So there's always the little roughhousing here and there.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But it's that kind of environment, spurs a lot of those kind of. Trying to survive a little bit sometimes in that environment when you're around all those brothers, right?
Oh, for sure. And then you're watching that, and of course, obviously, you want to recreate what you're watching and have a good time, and it's always fun, right? Until somebody gets hurt. So
yeah, exactly. No, I feel the same way. You grew up in Chico, California. Tell me about growing up there and what the environment was like. You said you put on some shows up there. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So yes, after once I started training, and because obviously way back in the day, in high school. Backyard wrestling was a very popular thing. I remember a lot of people were backyard wrestling, and I remember it was very shunned upon too. And the way I even looked at it was like, hey, everyone's out there playing tackle football in the backyard as well. That's not technically safe either, but obviously it's a little more extreme and a little more odd to see people, whipping each other off the invisible ropes in your backyard. But I just loved it. We wanted to do it, and I said I always wanted to do it since I was 10 years old, and we start training and doing our thing. And then I got my own ring, and we started training more. And slowly, very long story short, because we don't have time to touch on it all. I ended up getting my business license and insurance for it all, and just started booking and running my own shows. Freaking almost sometimes like multiple times a month at one point. I remember, we're in the Chico News and Review and the Enterprise Record and like the best of, and like it was pretty popping there for a minute. And I even got to wrestle one of my idols and heroes and one of my good friends, Chris Canyon, in my hometown in a promotion that I ran. So that's still probably one of my top 3 favorite moments, not only of my career but of my life. So
wow, that's got to be pretty special as far as that's concerned. It's exciting, to kind of see the progression. You mentioned you grinded around here in the Central Valley for a while, and then tell me about your big break. When did you find that, and what was it like for you to kind of realize, oh, hey, here we are now. This is what I want. This is where I'm at.
I don't know. Because I had some definitely some peaks and valleys. So, like, I guaranteed everyone when I was in high school that I'd be signed. By the time I was 24, I'd be signed in WWE. And right when I turned 24, I was signed and it was WWE. So that goal was, like, checked off, accomplished. Obviously, I did not go on to main event WrestleMania. But, and then I got released there. Then it kind of went, like, back down. And in essence, though, too, there was a big learning curve from that as far as not just professionally but personally as well, to kind of, like, not be at the top, but be where I wanted to be, and then have that fall, and then be able to persevere and come back through there. A lot of life lessons there. And then that's when I was in Fresno, and like, all right, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna go back. Here I am in the biggest company on a salary contract, and now I'm over here begging to get back on shows for like $20, $40. Like, it was crazy, and I could have just put my head in the sand and be like, oh, I'm due better than that. I go, you know what? I don't care. I'll drive down to LA. I'll do this show for $40, and I'll show how good I am. I'm gonna earn my worth. And next week I'll come back. Oh, and I got 60, now I got 80, and I'm getting booked over here, and I'm getting PWG bookings. This, that, whatever. Obviously, you just got to put in the effort and that grind. And there's a lot of people that just feel like they're too good for it. And I mean, it's you got to be kind of humble and just put in the work for sure to make it happen. And then when a company called Lucha Underground came around, I don't know if that was my big break, but that was some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. And then that just kept on, like, from 2012, 2013, every single year, professionally, financially, personally, has been better.
Yeah.
Consistently. Every year has gotten better and better from then to now. So, I mean, I don't know that there was like a big break moment. It's just steadily been better and better and better, and I just feel like keep on going to where I belong. So
Lucha Underground is where you met your wife too, right?
Yes, so, yeah, that is true. Yes, yes.
Maybe the trajectory was always
yeah. Way, yeah, right? I mean that's definitely a little side quest, but that was I didn't expect that, but obviously that was a tremendous find as well. So definitely have even more obviously biased favoritism to that, because yes, that is where I met my wife. And I mean, and that show was just incredible and so much fun. But and I went from there, and then I was in Impact Wrestling, which is TNA, and then to AEW once that gotten brought into existence. So yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. I'm glad I've been well traveled. I've gotten to be all over the world. I've gotten to wrestle a lot of people I never thought I'd be able to wrestle, or people that have been on my checklist or bucket list. So I still have plenty of goals and desires to knock out of the park. So I'm not nowhere near close to done. And I've almost been doing it longer than I haven't been doing it at this point too. But I'm in great shape. I feel great. I look even better, and I'm ready to keep this going.
You mentioned goals and desires. What are those, if you don't mind sharing?
Oh, well, first and foremost, if you're not here to be the best, if you're not here to be world champion, no matter what promotion you're in, then I don't know what you're doing. Like no one trains for second place, right? No one's going out there to be like, hey, I just want to be a contender. No, you want to be the best. Doesn't mean that you will be and that you ever reach that, but that should be everyone's end goal, is to get that title. Outside of that, though, there's still so many different people I want to work with. There's so many different programs I'd like to have with other people. I have such a creative mindset of so many things I want to do that I haven't even scratched the surface yet, that I haven't just been, I guess, given the opportunity to yet, and it hasn't come to fruition. Yeah. But I mean, it's there, and it's not dying or going anywhere. So I'm willing, ready, and able. And it's just like, hey, give me the ball. I don't care what sport you're playing. If we're playing soccer, I'm kicking the goal. If we're playing football, I'm running into the end zone. I'm hitting the ball out of the park. I'm shooting the three. Whatever it is, give me the ball, and I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the grind, right? The grind of coming into this thing. Do you feel like that value of that grind? I talk about with athletes all the time of, like, sometimes that direct path isn't necessarily there, and maybe that provides you a different kind of edge, right? When you're in that. Does that indirect path help you as an athlete to know the hunger, know the fight for it? As far as that's concerned?
Absolutely. To me, 100%. Like, would I have liked to have not gone through a lot of the struggles and ups and downs and everything else? Like, 100%. But yeah, it does create so much more. Like I said, not only just of you professionally and as an athlete as well, but just as far as your personal development and just your lessons you learn and how it changes you as your character and just who you become. I give a lot of credit to that, and it is a nice little testament and persevere to show like, okay, hey, because if it wasn't hard, everyone would do it, right? So it really tests your limits as far as like, hey, do you really want to achieve this dream or goal? Because everyone's got a dream or goal, whether it's in sports, entertainment, doctor, lawyer, whatever it is, right? Everyone's got a goal. Everyone's got a desire. Now, I feel like only 5%, maybe not even that, do whatever it takes to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
And then you got those energy vampires out there that they don't want to achieve, that didn't achieve their goal. And more often than not, to me, I don't mean to make this a therapy session, but I feel like it's because they're afraid of failure. And really, to me, the only way to fail is to never try. And then if they see you going out there, not only succeeding, but at least trying to succeed, chasing in your dream and what you want to do, it's almost like these energy vampires want to pull you back and be like, hey, and some people have your best interest, like, hey, no, we want you in a safe place and like, have a normal life, a normal job, that way you're secure. But I feel like it also comes from like, kind of like a selfish place of like, man, if this person's not here trying to do it, what's my excuse then?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't want to see this person. Like, hey, even if you love or care about this person, it's like, man, but if they succeed, then like, damn, I feel stupid for never trying then.
Yeah.
So it's almost like people somewhat want to hold you back because they're like, well, crap, man, I didn't do it. And that's what it is, man. And everyone, not everyone can make their dream come true, but everyone can absolutely give their all to make it come true. And I feel like a lot of people slack on that a little bit, and then they have more regrets. And that was a big thing too. Like even, I had a child very, very young. He's actually 18 now. And I remember I got an opportunity to go to Atlanta, and I'd never lived out of state. And it was working for this other developmental area that was connected with WWE. And I was terrified, and I was going to leave my at the time 6-month-old child, and I did not want to. And there's a lot more variables into it. Again, I'm trying to make all these lifelong stories into short little clips. But I also didn't want to live with what if.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that almost like made it worse. I'm like, I could be here 10 years later working at Big Lots and going, oh man,
right?
What if I would have went out there? Whereas I could go out there and hey, a friend even said to me, he goes, man, worst case, home is always one flight away. You can always just come home.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I was like, all right, I got to go. And then with the blessing of my son's mom too, and she's like, she knew how much I always want to do this. She's like, yes, go after it. And that's something I even thought too, through all my ups and downs through all this. And I have 2 other children, but I'm going to show like, hey, look, no matter what life throws your way, no matter what happens, no matter what struggles, like you can make your dream come true. And I wanted to show that too. Like, hey, look, if I made it happen, there's no way that you can't make it happen, no matter what it is that you're seeking or going after.
That's great insight, of course. It's, well put. And you got here, and now you're here with AEW tomorrow. Who is Brian Cage in the ring? The Machine. You mentioned the Wolverine. You got the Wolverine. Swolverine.
So you know what, too? It's funny too because I grew out this beard and this hair, and I wasn't even trying to look like Wolverine. And everybody's like, man, you look so much like Wolverine. And I'm a huge Wolverine fan, by the way, so it's a huge compliment to me. And I usually have sideburns in like a mohawk or faux hawk. And then I just, became a little bit more miserable and just didn't cut my hair and didn't shave. And all of a sudden I've got more physical compliments than I've ever got in my life. And I thought that's funny for like how much work and effort and time I put into my body. I go, and then all my compliments are just from being lazy and not grooming. I go, who would have thought?
Right.
But yeah, no. So Swolverine is the moniker, my trademark moniker. I actually got that because somebody, was calling me Wolverine from the crowd, and I flex at him. And I go, yeah, Hugh Jackman wishes his arms were this big. And somebody's like, oh, that's because you're the Swolverine. I was like, oh, hold on a second. Let me write this down. So that's how that came up. But who am I? So I go out there and, and the Machine moniker as well is kind of funny because I'm a machine like where I can go. And obviously I can do crazy physical feats of strength and whatnot. But funny enough, which may not be so fitting, but I know a lot of it also came from just my surprising athleticism and some things I can do as far as, flips, dives, jumps, whatever, which people would normally expect from someone for my stature and my physique and my look overall. And then, so like, yeah, you would think machine like it's more like robotic, but I feel like a commentator would coin this phrase originally, and it was just to be like, oh man, this guy can just do anything. Like, he's a machine. So, but yeah, so I go out there and I just try to own the spotlight and have the match of the night. A guy that I said I wrestled in my hometown, Chris Canyon, he was known as the innovator of offense. I was close friends with him, really big fan of him. So I remember watching him as a kid, and every time he'd wrestle, he would do something new or something unique or something memorable that would stick out to me. And I remember I wanted to like have that same creativity, that same aspect where if somebody watches me wrestle, they're like, oh man, hey, that one thing that one guy did was freaking awesome. If they don't know me, but they remember that, So, and I feel like I've gotten that compliment or that, that remembering of Chris Kanyon multiple times. So I feel like I feel pretty accomplished as far as my style of what I wanted to do in the ring.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, before I let you go, we're going to promote the thing, but I want to ask you one quick question. You went to high school with Aaron Rodgers?
I did indeed.
Do you have a quick story on Aaron Rodgers?
So the only so Aaron was obviously he's the high school quarterback, popular kid, and it's funny since we're talking wrestling, anyways, right? I'm a big wrestling fan, and I was a big outed wrestling fan. What I mean by that, I'd be wearing the shirts, the DX shirts, the NWO shirts, everything else, and I remember that was like wrestling was so high and so popular at the time. But of course, in high school, you were still lame or whatever if you like wrestling, even though everybody watched wrestling. It's real. But again, inside the church, everybody knew I was a wrestling fan. And so some people like kind of try to dog you or dog about wrestling. And when none of their friends around, they'd be like, hey, did you watch wrestling last night? It's all like low key. And, but going back to it, Aaron actually was always super upfront about it. So I thought that was cool. The fact that he'd be like, hey man, cause he knew I watched wrestling. He would just openly talk about it and not try to put on this facade. So, that's, I guess, one of my main stories. So I always thought that was so cool. That I was like, oh, hey, look, Aaron's not trying to act like he doesn't like it.
I think he still rocks it now. He's still a big fan of
course. No. And I'm a big fan of his, and it's awesome. It does suck. 'Cause I remember thinking, like, looking back, or, when I was growing up, I was like, oh, watch, I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to become a pro wrestler. I'm going to win the world title, and I'm going to be like, the king of my high school. I'm like, but I graduated with Aaron Rodgers, so that's probably not going to happen. Yeah, he actually got the world title before me when we won the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right. Oh, man. So, hey, you never know. You never know what happens. Anyways, big event tomorrow night, of course, at the Save Mart Center. Doors open 3:30, right?
Yes.
And
show will start at 4:30. It'll go live on TV on TBS at 5 o'clock.
Absolutely. So if you can't get down there, you can watch it on TV and enjoy all of the action on TV. All right, Brian, I appreciate you for coming on down. A lot of great insight, a lot of fun times, and should be a lot of fun watching you in the ring tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. I'm again stoked to be here. It's definitely, it's always fun to wrestle wherever we go, but obviously we have a little more sentimental connection to the city you're in, then it's definitely more happy and prideful to be here and be able to represent.
Absolutely. Well, we'll enjoy the show tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks for stopping by.
No worries, man. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Giants baseball is here.
Chapman, it's a drive out to left center field. At the wall, it is gone!
Your home for Giants baseball lives on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Double play! And the inning is over.
Catch all the action, home and away, on the Central Valley sports leader, Giants baseball. Brought to you by Patrick James, Pioneer Equipment, Der Manuel Insurance, Ed Dinas, and Thiessen Duker.
From the roar of the Bulldog Stadium to the crack of the bat at Biden Field, Fresno State pride runs deep. And so does Precision Civil Engineering's commitment to the Central Valley. Voted 2024's best engineering firm by the Business Journal, Precision Civil Engineering brings your project to life with expert planning, surveying, engineering, and more. Proud supporters of Fresno State Athletics. Go Diamond Dogs. Go Dogs. Visit precisioneng.net today.
This summer, KFC and F1 the movie are putting the pedal to the metal. Your favorite fill-ups are back. Only $7. Choose from crispy chicken, tasty tenders, or our classic famous bowl. Each with a drink, sides, and even sweet pie poppers. Need more fuel? Every Tuesday, grab 8 pieces of KFC's dark meat fried chicken or original recipe tenders for just $10. And don't forget to cool off with our new Peaches and Cream Sweet Lightning Soda. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. KFC, your summer pit stop for flavor.
From breezy linen to performance polos, the Patrick James Summer Collection defines cool, effortless style. It's where classic West Coast spirit meets modern refinement. Discover timeless looks from brands like Faraday, Johnny O, Martin Dingman, alongside staples from Tommy Bahama, Robert Graham, and our signature Patrick James line. Made for the man who values quality, confidence, and the art of dressing well. Patrick James, California's sophistication. On Shaw, inside Fresno's Fig Garden Village.
It was 106 degrees. The Johnsons were sweating, and their AC, dead silent. But 2 doors down, the Millers, cool and comfortable. Why? They called Lee's Air for a $99 AC maintenance before summer started. We catch problems before they catch you. Don't sweat the heat. Beat it. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, guaranteed. Call now or schedule at leesair.com.
Need cash? If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Clausen Honda wants to buy your car. If it's running, we want your late model Toyota, Hyundai, Kia, Subaru, Acura, or Honda. Just call Clausen and ask for our VUP to schedule your appraisal appointment. In just 10 minutes, you'll get your cash value quote. Yes, we are eliminating the hassle of getting rid of your used old car. So if you're ready to sell, we are ready to buy. Call Clausen Honda of Fresno today. If you've got a car, we've got the cash. Get cash for your car. Clausen Honda.
Fresno, get ready to dance. Shakira is bringing her Las Mujeres Ya No Lloran World Tour to Valley Children's Stadium this fall. Experience the global icon live. It all goes down Thursday, August 7th. This will be one unforgettable night. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Don't wait. Shakira Live in Fresno will sell out fast.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, faucets, vanities, doors, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through July 18th. Not a member? Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
All right, welcome back to Behind the Bench here on ESPN 1430, the Valley's local sports leader. All right, well, if you guys are thinking that AEW is coming to Save Mart Center tomorrow, that's not the case. That was a clip from March. Great interview with Brian Cage from Phil back in March. So, as we are near the end of the show now, let's go over the schedule as we have little time left. So tomorrow, on Friday, on 14:30 from 2 to 3 is going to be Sportsline by Tony D. No Behind the Bench tomorrow on 14:30. No Behind the Bench. We'll be back on Monday, I believe. Yes, Monday. So instead, we're going to have Giants versus Blue Jays Game 1 on 14:30, pregame 3:05, first pitch 3:35. Saturday, no Central Valley Sports Report by Paul Metters. He's going to return on August 9th. Saturday on 14:30, it's going to be Giants v. Blue Jays, 11:05 pregame, 11:35 a.m. first pitch. And then on 790 on Saturday, it's going to be A's versus Guardians, 3 o'clock pregame, 3:30 first pitch. Sunday, 14:30, it's going to host the final game of the series between San Francisco and Toronto. Super early in the morning, as I said yesterday. 8:05 a.m. pregame and 8:35 first pitch. So be ready for that if you're a Giants fan. On 790, it's going to be A's v. Guardians Game 3, 3 o'clock pregame and 3:30 first pitch. Monday, July 21st, we're back to a regular schedule, 2 p.m. Sportsline by Tony D on 14:30, and then we'll be back with Behind the Bench. I don't know how long the show will go for because Giants and Braves is going to be on 3:45. So, yeah, we'll have to see about that. It's going to be a 3:15 pregame probably. So, we'll see about that. And then on 790, A's versus Rangers, 4:30 p.m. first pitch, 4 o'clock pregame. Then on Tuesday, July 22nd, we got Sportsline, 2 o'clock with Tony D. Giants versus Braves at 3:45. Game 2, 3:15. Pregame, 3:45 first pitch. And finally, 790, 4:30. A's versus Rangers, 4:30 first pitch, 4 o'clock pregame. With a minute left in this show, just a little bit of news around the league. TJ Watt getting a big contract. 3 years, $123 million. He's getting $108 million fully guaranteed at signing. It's going to make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. He's going to be getting paid on a year-by-year basis more than Jamar Chase, more than Myles Garrett. I think that's fully deserved for a guy of TJ Watt's stature. He's been great with the Pittsburgh Steelers and finally gets that contract. All right, thanks for listening. Next time you'll hear our voices will be next week. Until then, from me, Tanvir, and Julia, working the video side of things, we thank you for listening to Best of Behind the Bench, and we'll catch you after the weekend. Goodbye, guys.